Shawn Townsend, the director of the Mayor's Office of Nightlife and Culture in Washington, D.C.
Okay, and how long have you had this position?
It's been a little over a year now.
Oh, so that's exciting, huh?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
So you're part of a pioneering group.
I am. There's, a few that came before me, and, we've been in contact and sharing best practices. And interesting thing is that we're all sort of dealing with the same challenges in our respective cities. So it's quite interesting to have conversations with someone in San Francisco, who's dealing with the same, noise issues that I'm dealing with in D.C.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your background that led you to get into this job?
Yeah, so, more recently, I spent 5 years at the district's Alcoholic Beverage Regulation Administration as an investigator and enforcer. I know the industry. This is not my first time being introduced to folks in the nighttime industry. So I think that's what sort of got me into this position. My selling point and the buy-in during my interview process was that, why wouldn't you want somebody with inside knowledge of rules and regulations of the city to now be an advocate for businesses and can help them. And that's what has happened. So, the office has built that reputation of helping businesses, but also making that connection with district agencies as well. And, my father's been a businessman for as long as I can remember. He's had 3 nightclubs. The last one, I was very instrumental in the selection of the building, the build out, hiring staff, and also, more importantly, being in the room when inspectors or law enforcement comes in, and feeling that anxiety of, are we getting shut down? Is it a fine? So I took that energy and used it, as when I was in enforcement. And my mentality was always education first, because I had that in me. And
So listening to you then, because you have this empathy, do you feel that because you have these two perspectives, that maybe some people saw you as coming in to further regulate the venue operators, but do you believe you've been instrumental in helping the regulators change their attitude and approach? Because you bring the perspective of what it's like to be on the receiving end of those regulators?
Absolutely. I do think initially there was a huge concern from stakeholders about the mayor appointing an enforcer in this position. This office, we don't have any type of regulatory authority, so it sort of boxes me out of even attempting to regulate if I wanted to. But I think just over time, we've been able to develop, a good relationship with the industry. We have, tons of people here that visited the conference, and I think, it just kind of speaks to, the relationships that we've helped build, and the support that we have now from the industry is amazing.
So in interacting with people from other cities, like you said, you share a lot of commonalities, but you also know that they each have different backgrounds. Like Ariel was a nightclub operator, or Allison had done work with us, and you have Scott here, who has more of an entertainment background.
Yeah.
So listening to them, do you see that each of their separate histories influences their attitudes, their approaches, their priorities, or do you see that somehow or another it's all melding together?
I think it's important that we all have different backgrounds. It's different perspectives and different angles on how they would approach, whether it's an initiative or, a challenge. It's been interesting to hear those other points of view. And, I think if we were all, sort of meshing the same, I think it would really be more of a challenge for us to, sort of diversify a lot of the things that we're doing in our cities. So I think it's a plus that we come from different backgrounds, and we can share that with each other.
So you get insights from others because of their backgrounds doing the same job, more or less, that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.